Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for May the 31st. I am going to be pulling one card for overall energy, and after that I'll pull one card for each sign. So right now, just shuffling. Don't feel like I'm ready to be done shuffling. That just basically means when I have to shuffle a little bit longer that there's a lot of different things happening. And my theory is Sacred Spirit's trying to prioritize, okay, what's the most important thing to talk about for right now? All right, so overall energy for the day, we're coming up with the World showing up in reverse. By the way, for those of you who are curious, this is my Arcanum Tarot. So the World in reverse as the overall energy. There's a couple of ways that that actually could be coming through, and I have a feeling we're going to be flip-flopping pretty well through the 12 signs. One of the meanings that I assign to this card is that there's some type of cycle that we're working on ending that we haven't quite gotten to the end of yet. The other thing I associate this card with is the idea of having had something that seemed like it was the ideal that we were shooting for, and then having that, realizing that what we thought was ideal at one time is close, but it's not actually ideal anymore. You know, either our goals have changed or it wasn't everything that we thought it was to start with, one way or the other. So we're going to see how this plays out for each sign. I'm just going to feel through it all psychically, just the way I do, and we'll see what we have showing up. All right, so let's look first at Aries. Aries, you guys have the Seven of Swords showing up in reverse. Seven of Swords in reverse talks about this idea of going back to the drawing board, re-strategizing some type of situation that you had put together a strategy for before, and you're realizing that strategy is not working as well as I thought it would. Not uncommon to have something like that come up during Mercury retrograde. And so this just talks about going back to the drawing board and refiguring your strategy. Now for you, Aries, with this card plus the World in reverse as the overall energy, this is basically telling me that whatever it was that you thought was the ideal at one point, now you're realizing that that is not actually what you want to shoot for, what you want to try to accomplish or achieve. And so that is a part of the whole idea of going back to the drawing board and coming up with a new strategy from scratch. Okay, next up, let's look at Taurus. Okay, so Taurus, Justice card showing up in reverse. What is going on here? Taurus, I just think that you're really confused about something today, and I think that what's going on with you, Taurus, I shouldn't say I think, I should say I feel. I feel like what's going on with you today, Taurus, with this World card coming in the overview and overarching energy in the reverse, plus Justice also in reverse. I think you're really confused about there's some kind of cycle that you're trying to close right now, and you're just not quite getting to that goal or getting to that target. And I think what's going on is you're a little bit confused about, excuse me for that noise, you're a little bit confused about why you're having that struggle with being able to move forward and actually get to that goal or that target. So I think right now is a day when you're starting to recognize that confusion. And once we recognize the confusion, then we can start to focus on, okay, well, what are the details around this? What could be a possible solution? You know, what's happening that's blocking this off? Now, how do I fix that? How do I overcome that? Okay, so very much a day about really awareness of what's going on around you and with you, so that you can very consciously move forward productively. All right, so that's Taurus. Next up, let's look at Geminis. So Geminis, we have the Magician showing up in reverse with the World in reverse. So basically what this tells me is you have a situation where you're putting in the energy and the effort to accomplish some type of goal or target, but you're feeling like you're kind of beating your head against the wall here, like you're doing a lot, but not a lot is actually happening. You're not having the productivity, or, you're not having things happen the way that you were expecting them to happen, considering the energy and effort that you're putting into it. With this World card coming up in reverse, this is basically saying, that you're having trouble reaching that target or that goal. So these two cards really are feeding into each other quite well here. So what's going on here, Gemini, is that there's a missing component in what you're trying to accomplish here, and that happens to be the more energetic version of creation. You're out there pounding the pavement and doing whatever it takes to get things done as far as in the tangible world, but you also have to set up things in the energetic world as well if you want to manifest well. So this is a good day to start looking at, okay, what can I do energetically to help me? Is this a matter of affirmations? Have I not asked for help from assistance from Sacred Spirit or God or Source or whatever word you want to put on that energy? I don't really care what you call it, but have you not asked for help from that? What's going on? What is there going on that you have not done spiritually to help you achieve this goal? Because what's happening here is you're leaning on the tangible things that you're doing, but you're leaving out the energetic things, and that's what's keeping you from actually reaching your goal or target here. So just a little adjustment that needs to be made there. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a little bit of a reminder. Oh yeah, I need to be staying on top of my energetic or my spiritual practice as well. And so just a little nudge to get you in the right direction basically is what's coming up on these cards. Okay, so that was Gemini. Next up, let's look at Cancer. So Cancers, you guys have the Knight of Pentacles showing up here. Excuse me, these not being straight's bugging me, but then of course I'm bumping the next stack. Knight of Pentacles. Let's just focus on the message, eh? So Cancer, Knight of Pentacles showing up here with the World card in reverse. Knight of Pentacles is the knight that if you study tarot theory, there's a long line of thinking that goes back to the Knight of Pentacles is the only knight that is always successful in the tarot deck. That's the theory. That's the general theory behind our Knight of Pentacles. Now, he moves very slowly. He makes sure that everything is done right. He does not take shortcuts. He does not race through things. He pays attention to how things are getting done. He makes sure the foundation is set correctly before he's going to go on and build on it. He's not going to build anything shaky. He's not going to have a tower situation in his life because he's not building anything shaky, where the tower is kind of shaky. So always successful, but very slow moving. So here's what we have here with this overall energy for the collective being the world in reverse. There's some type of target or goal that you're working on achieving, but it is slow going. And it's slow going because you're being careful to make sure that you're setting that foundation correctly. You're being very conscious to make sure that what you're building towards is solid and not something that's going to be knocked down easily later on. You're trying to create something that is going to be long lasting. And so as you're doing that, it's taking a while. And so I don't know, maybe you weren't exactly prepared for how long this was going to take, but this is really a nice positive combination to have come up for you, Cancers, because it basically means that yes, while this is taking a long time, at the same time, whatever your target or your goal is, you are going to accomplish it. It's just a matter of time before that happens. You're going to be steadfast about that. You will accomplish it. Maybe not as fast as you thought, but the way that you're going about it will make sure that when it is accomplished, it's going to be solid. Nobody's going to be second guessing it. Nobody's going to be able to knock it down. It's going to be done. Faux show. Okay? So that's for Cancers. Next up, we're looking at Leo. Leo, excuse me while I wet my whistle here. Leos, look at you guys. The Hermit showing up for y'all. I don't know that I know too many Leos that generally go into hermit mode on a regular basis at all. I'm not sure if I realized that they ever did go into hermit mode. All right, so this is really fascinating to me. So we've got overall energy of the world in reverse plus the hermit with you Leos. Here's what's going on for you guys. I think that you guys have come to the realization that some type of target or goal that you thought was ideal that you were trying to accomplish, you're starting to realize now that that was not actually ideal. It was not all it was cracked up to be, or something has changed in your life so you need something different, one or the other. But that target or goal that you were working so hard for and that you thought was just perfect, it's close, but no cigar. You're realizing that today. Now, I think that's what's sending you into hermit mode. I think you're taking some time by yourself to sort things out, to figure out what are my priorities actually. Do I really want this target or goal after all? If I do, what do I need to do to move forward to get it? If I don't, what do I want? What are my priorities? What do I need to be working towards? Okay, so I think you're taking some time out to sort of reevaluate about some type of target or goal that you were shooting for and figure out, is this really what I want? Now, for some of you, this is going to be a relationship type thing. Maybe you thought you met the perfect spouse, and now you're starting to see, not so sure about that. This person has a temper I didn't realize, or who knows what, you know. Or this could be a career path that you thought was ideal, and now you're seeing, well, wait a second, if I do this, everybody that I know that's doing that has no time for their families. You know, there could be any one of a zillion different targets or goals that you're shooting for, and now you're realizing, wait a second, I need to reevaluate this because I don't think this is what I thought it was originally. Or if it is, my life has changed and I need something different now. So taking that time to reevaluate, reset those priorities, and really figure out, okay, if that's not what I want, then where do I go from here? All right, so that's what I've got coming up for Leos. Next up, we have Virgo. Ace of Pentacles showing up in reverse. So Virgo is with the overall energy being the world in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles as your energy showing up in reverse as well. This is just telling me that there is somebody that you are giving a gift to today. What's going on here? It's interesting because I think that the person that you're giving this gift to may end up telling you that this is close to what I wanted, but actually for me to be able to use this, it needed to be da 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 da. Fill in the blank, whatever that might be. So giving somebody a gift today that I think you're probably thinking originally is the ideal gift for this person. I think you're going to be realizing it's not exactly the ideal. It's close, but no cigar. And so now the ball is really in your court. What are you going to do about that? Are you going to let this person exchange this gift for something else? Are you going to take this gift back and go get something that fits better? You know, what are you going to do about that? That's going to be your question when you realize that this gift is not as perfect as you were hoping that it would be. Okay? And that was Virgo, I think, right? Yes. Next up, we're looking at Libra. Page of Swords for Libras and the world in reverse. What's going on here? All right. For some of you Libras, I'm going to tell you, I don't think this is going to apply to everybody, but the first impression that I got for the first group of you all is that for some of you, you're looking at some type of education or further education, and you're considering, is this really what I want to study? Is this what I want to major in? Is this a class I really want to take? That type of thing. And with the world coming up in reverse, this is really saying that I think you're realizing today that whatever class or study or workshop that you've signed up for, I think you're realizing that it doesn't do exactly what you were hoping it would. So it doesn't teach you exactly what you were feeling like you were going to get to know from this class. And so for those of you that that's the situation, you know, you may be going back to the drawing board and figuring out, okay, well, you know, should I go, if I take this class, this workshop, whatever, is that still going to benefit me? Or should I go in a whole different direction with that world in reverse? So that's going to be, you know, each person's going to have a different situation. So you guys are going to be figuring that out individually. For the rest of you, I feel like you're getting in some kind of good news today from somebody. And I feel like it's not the good news that you expected. And this good news does not help you to reach a goal or a target that you had set for yourself already. However, it's still good news. And if you follow through on whatever this good news is, you may end up actually adjusting your goal or your target that you're shooting for as well. So say that just for an example, so you kind of see how this energy might play out, and it's just an example, it won't be the same for everybody, but like say that your biggest goal and ambition is to be a well-known poet, and so you write poetry all the time, and your poetry has to do with maybe let's say it has to do with current events, the things around you in the world and in your environment. And let's say that you have submitted your poems to be published, and so far you haven't heard back that they can be published. Now you hear back that, you know what, we really don't want to publish your poetry, but we would love to see you be a journalist about current events. Would you like to come and work for our news agency? You know, or something, you know, something like that, where you have a goal or a target. You know what it is. You get in some good news, but that good news shifts you in a different direction than your old goal or target. And so this good news can be something that makes you sort of change your goal or target, actually plan it out differently. Okay? So that's for Libras. Next, let's look at Scorpio. Scorpio, Four of Swords, taking a break, resting. What day is this? May 31st, which is Tuesday. Whew, I could use a break. Thank goodness. All right, let's see. I'm being silly. So taking some type of break, resting, downtime. We're not doing everything that we would normally do today. Okay, with that world card in reverse, this is basically telling me that we may not have actually been shooting for that. We may have had some things on the agenda that we wanted to get accomplished, but we're not actually accomplishing them today. So we might have to take a rain check on accomplishing some of this other stuff. So some type of forced downtime that doesn't, it slows down our attainment of any kind of goal or targets that we've been shooting for. Okay, so that's what I've got for Scorpios. Ba-da-da-da, Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Seven of Cups showing up in reverse, Sagittarius. Very focused on something. All right. So Sagittarius, I think that you've realized that you want something different out of life than what you've been shooting for already. And so this is you deciding, okay, this is what I'm going to do to improve my trajectory on life. And so I'm going to focus on this thing that's going to improve things for me. And that is going to cause you to change some of your goals or your targets that you're shooting for as well. You're just going to realize that, you know what, I could shoot for something that would be better. I could set a goal or a target that would actually be better for me. And then just being very focused on how do you start working towards that. So actually taking some pretty quick action on these things that are showing up on the cards today. Next up for Capricorn, we have the star card showing up for Capricorn. So Capricorn star card, what do we have? What do we have? Oh, this is cool. So Capricorns, I think that you're really hopeful about some changes that you're making in your trajectory. So there's something that you've realized that isn't exactly what you want. There is something that you do want. It's not that far different from what you have been working towards. And so with the star card, this is telling me that you're making some adjustments and some changes in those long-term goals and plans. And you're expecting that even with making some changes, you'll still be able to reach those goals or plans fairly easily. Okay, so that's Capricorn. Next up, we're looking at Aquarius. Aquarius, we have the Page of Wands showing up in reverse. Page of Wands. Aquarius, I think that you're giving somebody a message today saying, you know what, I don't really feel great about what your goal or your target is for me right there. Notice our page is younger. So this could be somebody even telling their parents, yeah, I don't like that plan. I know you want me to go to college, but I would rather live in an RV on the beach and surf. Could be. Let's see. So anyway, Page of Wands in reverse is just that you're giving somebody a message about something that they want for you. They actually want you to make some kind of changes in your own goals or your own targets. And you're basically telling them, yeah, I'm not down with that. That just doesn't seem like a good idea to me. I think that's what's going on here. This is the goal or the target that somebody is wanting you to basically change. And this is you saying, yeah, I can't get behind that. That's not happening. That's not happening. All right, next up, let's look at Pisces. Pisces, Knight of Wands showing up for you guys in reverse. Okay, this is interesting. So Pisces, I feel like you've had some scattered energy lately where you've been putting energy and effort into multiple different things, trying to get them to go forward. And you're starting to realize that by scattering your energy around as much as you have been, nothing actually is going forward. You're just catching up and putting out fires everywhere that you go, but you're not actually making forward progress anywhere. Okay, with this World card in reverse, this is saying, you know what, I'm really tired of scattering my energy all over. I need to set a goal. I need to set a target that's attainable, and I need to really kind of focus in on what I want my goal or my target to be. So this card just basically says, well, the combination of them, I'm going to say, basically says I've been scattering my energy an awful lot, and it's not getting me what I want, and so it's time to change my actions so that I can actually achieve those things that I'm going for. Okay, so that's what I have for everybody. Thank you all very much for being here. I do appreciate all your wonderful support, and everybody have a fantastic day. Peace out.